Human civilization stands on the shoulders of those who built before us. From the towering pyramids to the glittering skyscrapers, every structure tells a story, not only of brilliance and innovation, but of sacrifice, danger, and mistakes that echo across centuries. And the shocking truth is this: some of the deadliest construction methods invented thousands of years ago are still being used today. With modern helmets, with better tools, with digital blueprints, but deep inside, the risks are still the same. Today, we're uncovering 5 ancient construction methods that continue to shape our world and still put lives on the line. These aren't just techniques, they are traps. Silent, familiar, deceptively normal, and deadly. Let's begin. 1. Scaffolding, the oldest ladder to the sky. Scaffolding is older than written language. The Egyptians used wooden poles tied with rope when raising the Great Pyramid. The Chinese used bamboo towers while building the Great Wall. The Romans used complex platforms for the Colosseum. And despite thousands of years, the method is nearly the same today. A frame of steel or wood, planks to walk on, and workers hanging hundreds of feet in the air. One wrong clamp, one loose bolt, one gust of wind, and a life ends before anyone even understands what happened. The irony is painful. We call scaffolding temporary, yet it has caused more permanent tragedies than any other construction method. Modern engineering has improved materials, but it still cannot fix the biggest flaw: human fatigue and human error. A tired worker forgets to double-check the lock. A rushed supervisor skips inspection. A plank that looks okay is used one more time, and suddenly an ancient danger wakes up again. Even today, when a building rises in any major city, the first and last thing you'll see is scaffolding, a fragile skeleton holding the future and holding the workers' lives. We've changed the world, but scaffolding hasn't changed us. 2. Stone masonry, beauty that breaks without warning. For thousands of years, stone masonry wasn't just a technique, it was an honor. Temples, palaces, forts, the greatest human achievements were carved from stone. But stone is unpredictable. It can be elegant, it can be eternal, and it can be deadly. Ancient masons knew the truth. Stone never forgives mistakes. If a builder misaligns even one stone, the entire wall becomes unstable. Centuries ago, this meant sudden collapses that buried workers alive. And unbelievably, the same flaw still haunts modern construction. Today, we use stone for luxurious houses, decorative facades, memorials, museums. But even in the 21st century, misaligned stone, weak mortar, or a hidden crack can turn a beautifully crafted surface into a falling hazard. A single slab dislodges, a heavy veneer panel detaches, a decorative stone crashes from 10 meters above, and it only takes 1 second for beauty to turn into tragedy. Engineering improvements exist: tiebacks, metal anchors, structural adhesives. But many builders still follow traditional methods because they are cheaper or faster. And so an ancient danger survives, silent, unpredictable, waiting. 3. The ramp method, lifting the world with human muscle. Before cranes, before forklifts, before hydraulic machines, there was one method: the ramp. Egyptians used massive sand ramps to drag stones the size of cars. Romans used inclined wooden paths to lift columns. Across Asia, laborers pushed entire walls upward, using nothing but teamwork and raw force. But ramps have always been dangerous. If the angle is even slightly wrong, the load pulls back. If the surface is uneven, the wheels slip. If the soil is soft, the entire structure sinks. A ramp never collapses gracefully. It collapses violently. And here's the shocking part: these ramps, though smaller now, are still used around the world today. Whenever a machine can't reach, whenever a crane is too expensive, whenever a project is rushed, a makeshift ramp appears. Loose planks, unleveled ground, improvised supports. Workers push heavy tiles, steel rods, cement bags, machinery, trusting a structure that was built in minutes. All it takes is one tiny stone under a wheel, or one worker losing balance, and everything above them comes rolling down like a monster. You hear shouting, you hear wood cracking, and then silence. Modern safety rules say never use a ramp without securing it, but deadlines, budgets, and pressure don't care about rules. And an ancient technique born in the time of pharaohs still decides people's fate today. 4. Manual lifting, the human body versus gravity. This might be the oldest method of all. Older than pyramids, older than walls, older than tools. When people couldn't lift something, they simply called more people. Human beings lifting with their hands, backs, and shoulders. Thousands of years later, we're still doing the same thing. Yes, we have machines. Yes, cranes are everywhere. Yes, forklifts exist. But on small sites, developing areas, or tight locations, the ancient method returns. Just lift it manually. Cement bags weighing 50 kilos, marble slabs heavier than a person, iron pipes twice the height of a worker, wooden beams, bricks, tiles, all carried by bodies not designed for that burden. You'll never hear the danger immediately. It starts quietly, a spine twisting the wrong way, a muscle tearing, a knee buckling. Sometimes the pain appears years later, sometimes instantly. Construction workers around the world share the same sad reality. They lift until they break. Engineering guidelines clearly say no worker should lift beyond safe limits, but limits disappear when deadlines appear. And once again, the modern world leans on an ancient method, a method that has destroyed more bodies than any war. 5. Wooden formwork, a temporary structure with permanent consequences. Formwork is the invisible skeleton of every concrete structure. Before a wall, a beam, or a slab is born, it is poured into a mold. In ancient times, wooden molds shaped temples and bridges. Today, concrete formwork is used in every country on Earth. But wood has a secret. It changes with heat. It swells with water. It shrinks in dry weather. And it weakens under heavy load. So when a formwork fails, it fails completely. A slab collapses. A wall folds in half. A beam crashes down. The wet concrete inside spills like a flood, burying anyone who had no time to run. Even modern plywood and metal supports can fail if they aren't placed correctly, tightened properly, or tested carefully. And in real construction sites, testing is often ignored. Workers trust the temporary structure. They walk beneath it. They stand beside it. They believe it will hold until one crack becomes two, until two cracks become a shutter, and then the entire structure falls like a demolished building. Formwork is meant to be temporary, but the consequences of a collapse are permanent. Why these ancient methods still survive? It's easy to believe that modern engineering solved everything, but the truth is darker. Old methods survive because they are cheap, fast, familiar, and good enough. But the human cost? That's hidden, buried, unspoken. Thousands of workers every year get injured using techniques older than civilization itself. The tools changed, the helmets got stronger, the cities grew taller, but the choices, the shortcuts, the pressure, the tired eyes of a worker at the end of a long shift, those haven't changed at all. A final message. The next time you look at a skyscraper, a bridge, a monument, remember this. Human hands built every inch. Hands that carried weight beyond their limits. Hands that climbed unstable platforms. Hands that shaped stone, dragged loads up ramps, and trusted wooden structures that might break at any moment. Our world wasn't built only by engineers. It was built by courage and by risk. And until we fully replace these ancient traps with safer systems, the past won't stay in the past. It will keep repeating itself, one mistake at a time.